what you're saying about the online sessions, I mean, I've not had any problems with the online sessions that I've done. I do prefer to conduct all sessions in person, but that's just my own preference.
Yeah.
But in terms of online, I think as long as you've got the fail safes in the script, which obviously we do have with regression healing, you know, we always make sure that during the consultation we mention what would happen with the break in the connection.
Exactly. So yeah, we are the most concerned about that. So if we feel now that everything's fine because of the fail safes that are put in place, you know, and practice, it makes perfect. The only reason I did it because I was really I was just like any other QHHT practitioner. I was like, it was taboo. And some lady, I mean, I'd only just created regression healing and not quite yet fixed or fully used the script which makes online sessions safe. I hadn't used it yet, so I was really a bit, you know, because of the echo of Dolores Cannon, I was kind of skeptical that it would work, if you understand what I mean. I was worried. I didn't want the client to go into this deep state that I was told about, and then, but you know,
do you think that a fear had been created in your mind by the fact that you'd received instructions that had actually said, do not attempt this online?
Yeah.
Because A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
Because when that suggestion's sort of given to you,
that's the
you know, it would create that fear that it's going to go wrong. No.
Yeah.
It would for me.
I was, you know, I think I was more anxious than, I mean, that first session, the lady said, "You're my only hope," and I was thinking, "Oh my God," you know.
No pressure, no pressure.
But yeah, but we were in chat, using emails, and I was expressing my concerns, and she just mowed me down, you know. And she was saying, "Oh, how much faith do you have? What you know what I mean?" Really hitting some low belt points, like, you know, it'll be all right, you know. It's gonna. She had so much faith in me that I became convinced enough to try it out. And I said, "Look, you know, you're the guinea pig." And she was fully aware, and she said, "Yeah, lay it on me, you know, just go for it," she was saying. But yeah.
And when it feels so right, it can't be wrong, can it?
Well, exactly, yeah. So I tested it once, and I was really impressed because at one point the connection did go down, and everything all the fail safes kicked in. And bingo, we were back online, continuing from exactly where we left off. And it's happened since, and now I don't really flinch because I just allow the process to take its course, and every single time, well, I mean, it's very rare. We get good connections these days, and it's quite rare that the connection does even go down. So
the connection went down in my session, didn't it? I don't know if you remember, but
I have no clue. I hypnotise myself not to remember things. I just carry on exactly where you left off. That's where I go. But yeah, vaguely.
But yeah, I did. We did carry on exactly where we left off, and it was easy to go back into it all.
It's totally amazing how the mind works. You know, it really is. Yeah, so
because I think I would be concerned that I would be able to sort of go back into it, you know, when I was the client, but I did. You know, it's funny. It's funny how it just happens.
Well, it is literally like going to the toilet at night time. Literally. You just go... by the time you wake up, it's barely a memory in your head. I'm sure you know what I mean, but yeah, it's exactly the same, because we're kind of in that state, and because of the suggestions, obviously. Yeah, so
I've never been able to go back into a dream like that at night, though. I don't know if you've ever been having a really good dream and you wake up
only
and
once.
you think, oh no, I want to go back into that, and then you just don't.
Yeah, I've had lots of them, but only once did it actually happen. But I wasn't exactly screaming. It kind of, to get back in, it just kind of did happen. I'm not sure it was the best dream that you'd wanted. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I was impressed with it, and wonder why I would even do that. Yeah, it's funny. Consciousness it doesn't take long to get into the dream state. It's just a matter of words being all positioned in their correct order. That's just it, for me. So online or in person, I was going to sorry, bring it back. Unless you had something to say, what you're going to...
Oh no, I was just going to move on to the next thing, which was about the consultation, the importance of a consultation.
Yeah, well, so many people don't really understand. Even a little bit of consultation is good, is useful. I've known that because, as I said, the last live stream we did, a client did actually cut down the everything. They just cut it out and just said a few things, and then went into a past life. Everything went perfect. So yeah, but it needs to be done. A lot of practitioners think that is more the main thing that you have to do is gain trust. This is what they think.
Yes, spending time with the client is a lot of the comments that we get on the Facebook group.
Yeah.
Is people believe they must spend the time with the clients and basically learn their whole life history, all of their emotional history. I mean, you could be there forever.
Yeah, and some people do, and it's easy to understand how, after listening to certain Dolores things, how to get there. It's easy to understand that, but we need to understand that it's our current knowledge base that limits the expansion of our knowledge. If you understand, if you've only got half the story, you're not going to be able to build a full machine, if you know what I mean. If you've only got half the schematics, you can't even come up with the right answer as to where the rest of it would go. Do you know what I mean? So it all works in a format.
I think that too much information as well, it's not necessarily a good thing.
No.
Because it can actually cloud the session. I mean, I will not let the client take control. I'm probably a bit stricter than you when I conduct my sessions, to be honest.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I think you're quite easygoing.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I don't let them talk too much. I've also not allowed clients to look at their mobile phone.
Oh, God forbid.
Because I'm concerned that it's going to sort of draw them back into the 3D and everything like that. So yeah, but that's just my own sort of ways, and it does work for me. But
yeah, it's the wise. That's wiser. Absolutely, much wiser. Yeah, certainly do not allow. As a practitioner, you don't need to hear the life story. Even in QHHT, you allow the subconscious to sort everything out. You don't need to ask, because that's overworking. That's actually creating more work, and that's the last thing we want to do, really. So yeah, all that.
Yeah, plus it's creating all different sorts of energies in the room before they go into the session.
Oh, absolutely.
You know.
Yeah, absolutely. A client can kill their own session by asking too many questions and actually having preconceived ideas of what and how it's all gonna pan out. Even to the point which lifetime they're gonna go to. You know, how come you didn't get this? I didn't feel that I spoke to the subconscious, and all things like that, you know. And they all do happen, but if there's even 1% uncertainty, it's just no good. It's no good. So many practitioners do not get the subconscious to come in because of that reason. The QHHT, not in regression healing, obviously we don't. Well, we could call in the subconscious if we wanted to, but going into the light and chatting with guides, greeters, angels. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's just no comparison, really. So, yeah. But trust, just getting their life story to gain trust is definitely not what Dolores taught us. And
I think it takes a lot of trust for them to even walk into the appointment. I mean, I've had a lot of clients where, you know, they've turned up and they said to me, "I feel scared," you know, and I think a lot of that is like the fear of that they're going to see some sort of death scene. Or that they're going to have been up to no good in previous life, you know, that they don't necessarily want to reveal. But yeah, I think it takes courage, you know. It is kind of like laying yourself bare. You've got no idea what's going to come through. So they've probably already sort of put an element of trust into it before they've chosen you as the practitioner as well.
Yeah, I agree 100%. 100%. It's like a lot of the clients that came to me or come to me have read my books. I used to really promote them, and I used to actually, you know, try to bring one out a week until I burned out and couldn't do any more. But yeah.
You've got loads of books though, loads of them.
Yeah, it kind of. But doing those kind of got to me. I think I lost the point again. But it was my books that actually, people saying, I want you, I would rather have a session with you than Dolores, because there's certain things I don't agree with what Dolores says. I was thinking, wow, every word that Dolores has ever spoken, I can't knock it down. Not that I want to or even try to, but you know, you have your own discernment, and she came directly from like a Buddhist philosophy without even being Buddhist. You know, her understanding of past lives, and then she gained knowledge about karma and how that affects our now and even past lives and how they affect our future lives, you know, and future lives affecting past lives. She got to that point of understanding the convolutedness of it all. And yeah, like she even mentioned about having her mind bent like pretzels. That was pretty, you know, and when you actually contemplate what the heck has just gone on there, really, they died and then went back to a past life and then skipped to a future life. Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's just unreal. How we keep up with it is a phenomenon all on its own. But yeah, all that you do. I mean, if we're still chatting about the trust issue, because I do go off on a tangent, and yeah, there's just no need to actually get life stories, because the source knows everything. It will sort everything. If it can turn bone into clay, reshape it again as if it was brand new, then I'm sure it knows what it's doing, you know what I mean? It knows every cell and molecule or electromagnetic resonant particle in our body, so, and it created it, so I'm sure it knows how to fix it if it got broke and it was given the opportunity, which it does, yeah. And it was funny you were saying about earlier on about use this metaphor, and that's exactly all we're doing, just using metaphors, because that's the most powerful method of anything. You have to visualize, you have to have some vision, otherwise you kind of go nowhere, it seems, in life. If you can't imagine anything, I should imagine we'll be just, might as well just be a blob stuck somewhere. You know, we have to have a vision, don't we? And that's what gets us to places. So the metaphors are really powerful. Really.
Yeah, I do think our spirits love us to be creative. It's all about the creativity.
Yeah. The metaphor, the images, and the metaphors, they are the language of the soul. They're the language of source. That's how source intelligence speaks back to us, through the image of our surroundings. You know, you can get a little sign from absolutely anywhere and you can know that, you know, there's your answer right there. Not sure what type of example I could give, but yeah, that's how I see it. The whole, all images, everything around us is a metaphor. Even I think you were mentioning, because I said, I've got a bit of a bad back, and you mentioned about letting things get on top of you, and that's exactly the same.
Carrying a heavy load.
That's the word.
Carrying a load.
That's exactly it. That's what we found. If we use, I mean, a lady had put herself in armour, and to protect herself from certain people and influences, and she ended up seeing herself taking that armour off, bit by bit by bit. You know. And it was just amazing. And after that, after she got up, she felt so much lighter, much more light. Isn't that funny though? How light means illumination, light means weight. Do you know what I mean? What is enlightenment then? But yeah, it was awesome. She just used that metaphor to literally, she took the armour off, and she had issues in her shoulder and neck, and that all went away, and you could see how those bits would affect your posture as well.
So she felt lighter after the session as a result of shedding the armour.
Yeah. And carry on.
I was just going to say during my regression session, because one of my lives I was a star. I felt incredibly light and bright, and just coming back from that back into my body, I felt very, very heavy. But I mean, it's a completely different type of situation that's gone on there. But I just find all of it absolutely fascinating.
It all seems appropriate, no matter how we come back. It definitely all seems appropriate. Anyway, getting back to the subconscious, I know I didn't go off on a tangent there. I was true to the script, not that I've got one.
No, Skit 75 has just said they haven't had a QHHT session yet. But yes, the fear of not knowing the practitioner and being laid bare in a session, that and not being able to be in person due to quarantine.
Yeah. That's a shame. I mean, this is why we had to, I mean, I personally, I had a lot of clients messaging me saying how much of a shame it was that they couldn't have a session with me. And then I started asking them back, how would you feel about an online session, you know? And by that time, all my scripts had changed anyway. QHHT was evolving for me, and over 3 years it did evolve, and eventually I got to the point where I was able to conduct safe online sessions. Because a lot of people I put votes out in a lot of the groups, and they were comfortable with having a session in the comfort of their own home. They just had to set the space up, which most didn't have an issue with. I mean, that actually is a sacrifice that makes the whole session even more powerful when you start to use actions in it. So
I do think it's important though to make sure. I know you always mention about the hardwired connection, but I think it's also very important to have an actual headset as well.
Yeah.
It depends on what kind of setup you've got really, but if you're like me and you do it from like a laptop or something like that, you're going to need some sort of headset and microphone. You know, having the headphones on. And this is something that you told me, Chris. Mm-hmm. It's even better in terms of like how the messages get through to the brain, because it feels as though the practitioner's actually in your head.
It's amazing. I felt that anyway when the practitioner was conducting a session with me, a QHHT session, and that's exactly what it was. You are somewhere else, doing something else, but the practitioner's voice always seemed to be right there in my head. It was right. It was as if the practitioner was with me. You know, so close you could almost sense if something wasn't going the way the practitioner wanted or expected, if you know what I mean. Like we mentioned last time about being out of the body and not having any legs or any arms, and you know, you've just been asked what do you have on your feet, and that's kind of like then you have to lose a load of questions, you know. As soon as they haven't got arms or feet, you have to lose a load of questions.
I get a lot of bare feet in my sessions. My clients have a lot of bare feet.
Yeah. Wow, we've only just come out of the tribal age. Really? We've only, all of us, you know, the Romans came, ruined everything, and we've been moving away from the tribal age ever since. We've only had about 400 odd years where we became this other entity on the earth.
Allegedly civilized, yeah?
So cool.
We became civilized.
Yeah, heresy. That's heresy in my world. Cause
indeed, it is in mine as well, Chris.
Yeah.
The Roman Empire.
And turned everything upside down, yeah. Good is bad, healthy is it's sick. Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to lose the thread. Let's get back to the question.
Okay, so another topic that we were going to talk about was...
Have we finished with Skit's question about the QHHT session? Of not knowing the practitioner. It's a fear of not knowing the practitioner, and that's what I was saying earlier on, that people have read my books, or I was going to get round to saying that.
Yeah, I'm still doing personal sessions in quarantine anyway, for anyone that's interested.
Yeah.
If they're nearby.
Yeah, definitely. There's no fear. But the fear of not knowing the practitioner, people, they were reading my books, and then, I had a lot of people overseas wanting to have a session with me. They had read my books and actually wanted to, like I was saying, the lady would prefer to have a session with me than Dolores. It was pretty amazing, all of the feedback I got. And then when I just finally decided to say, yeah, I'm going to officially now start conducting online sessions, it was so successful. Within the first 12, normally you only need 3 tests, but I must have done 12 sessions online, and I thought people need to know this, you know, people need to expand, because there's so many people suffering out there that cannot get anywhere. Do you know what I mean?
And the whole point is reaching as many people as possible.
Exactly, in these crazy times. Yeah, I was well, in a way, I wasn't thankful that this pandemic came around, but but it just showed that I had been guided by my clients and the source within them to almost a future proof thing. QHHT, you need to do it in person. No masky, not maskopolisk. We're not, no, do you know what I mean? If you're not sick, you don't need testing to see if you're sick. You know if you're unwell, and if you're coughing, and that's a form of transmission, but still, I've sat in a room of coughers and nothing's happened. So yeah, the quarantine shouldn't really have affected anyone with faith that the Creator doesn't actually do that kind of stuff. It doesn't create such organisms, and there's all manner of coding into our electromagnetic form that actually is against that type of coding. The only way you can abuse that law is by injections, where you totally go around the immune system, which deals with every virus known to humans. So yeah, faith, you're not meant to go out like that. You're not, if you've got a good feeling, nah, that's not how I leave this realm. It's much better than that. You know what I mean?
I think it's where people, they fail to see that there is actually a force that's, much bigger and greater than themselves out there, that we're all connected to, and ultimately that is what's in control. It's not going to be a virus where, there's a vaccine that's going to save. That's going to save everybody. That's not going to be a real saviour.
It's a unicorn. Isn't it? A vaccine unicorn, like they say. The source knows the future, all futures, and all past. It's prepared us for this probably a long time ago. It knows what man's like. It knows how clever and Decepticon a man can be, and it just knows it. And we've been prepared for this for a long time. What we're not prepared for is having free will taken away, because then we've given up our power.
Exactly, and that's the light that's being exposed now. The truth and the light is coming through.
Yeah, so we're not too bothered about quarantine.
It's kind of a process that we all have to go through.
Yes.
When the light shines through, the cracks get bigger, and more truth gets exposed.
The light, yeah.
But yes, it is a process, and those that are far away from the light, it will take them longer to see it, and perhaps they won't see it in this lifetime anyway. But
no, unfortunately,
I do hope they manage to get back, and that this RNA, mRNA thing isn't going to alter people's DNA too much.
It's the ultimate disrespect to the Creator, really.
It is because you're not that creation anymore. You become part that and part man-made.
Yeah.
Through your own free choice.
Imagine that though. I can't imagine. Oh my God, I just can't imagine the. Wow. Best not even talk too much on that subject, really. But yeah.
Yes. This is the subject that we promised to avoid, but yes.
It's that word, wasn't it? Quarantine. It's kind of what does that mean to me in this current time frame? But yeah, I mean,
I would like to say though, I think that the word magic and the hypnosis that's being used,
yeah,
is is very interesting.
You
Obviously,
can.
the Masonic number of 3,
All
and
right.
using the 3 words, on the adverts.
Oh yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
you see, it's always 3 different words, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not going to give an example.
That's wisdom that says that. I wouldn't. I wouldn't either. I wouldn't like to repeat anything that they say. But the fact is, like your lungs, I remember having I did a meditation one time, and it was a meditation where I controlled my breathing. So I was there and I was sat there and I was controlling my breathing. After an hour of controlling my breathing and thinking, I was really quite impressed myself that I was controlling my breathing and continued to control my breathing constantly. And right at the end of that meditation, it was brilliant. And it was quite late at night when I had finished that meditation. So I think I had something to eat and went to lay down to go to sleep. But as soon as I had fallen asleep, I woke up gasping for air.
Oh, really?
I woke up gasping for air, and it wasn't until 4 o'clock in the morning that I was able to get to sleep, because every time I fell asleep I woke up gasping for air. And why is that? Because I decided to take over my own breathing. This is a breathing that Source does. You don't need to even think about breathing. Do you know what I mean? If you want to control your breathing, the Source within says, alright then, fair enough. You can control your breathing then. Have it. And for a 3-hour echo of waking up, gasping for breath. Do you know what I mean? So if we, likewise, I see it, if we want to go past our immune system, we're going to get a jab now, and that's our immune system now. So we've basically literally just given up the immune system. So what's the Source going to say? Alright then, you want to do that, you know, you be on drugs for the rest of your life. You do it that way. And it never works really good, does it? It works. It has a really nasty, if you want to give over your immune system, you want to give over your breathing, you want to take all that over, fair enough, you know. But you've just taken away a job that the Source intelligence created, and it fixes. You know, there's consequences.
Yeah, I think people have forgotten about their immune systems. People have forgotten they exist.
Excuse me. Yeah, well, that is sad, really. It's a severe lack of education, isn't it? I mean,
well, I think it does highlight how far away we have drifted from our faith, and our faith in our own bodies as well.
Oh, exactly.
Not just our faith to everything that we're connected to, but our faith in ourselves. We all massively are trained to doubt ourselves and feel like we're not good enough.
Totally. Yeah, it's quite abusive. Was that Johnny?
That's why it's amazing, isn't it? The regression healing, because it helps you get back in touch with who you are.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I had no idea. I mean, basically, the first QHHT practitioner, and the second one, they did a regression healing. They were the pioneers of it, really, because of the lack of subconscious, which caused something else to be activated, which was the light. And then I saw the protocols of how to get in that. Practitioners were asking all the right questions, in order to get me going. And that was my first experience of it. it's just amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, Skits has just said people now only focus on weight and how they look instead of learning what their immune systems need and to listen to their body. I mean, absolutely. People need to know to validate themselves. You know, it's about starting on the inside. It's not about the external. It's about the internal, and this is what regression healing can help people to see, is help them to look inside themselves and connect with everything that they need to heal. And become their own therapists.
That is so true. They become the ultimate therapist, as I see it. We activate what in Sanskrit I believe is called the Atman, the God mind.
The Atman.
The Atman or Atma, the God mind. The God mind.
Where we realise that we are the creator of our own lives and our own destiny.
Yeah, to a large degree. I mean, basically, we chose to accept everything that source intelligence throws at us, and we don't normally know that we're actually built for every bit of it. We were actually, our soul is. Because the source knows if your soul is adept or able to survive through certain types of chaos. Yeah, you wouldn't be here otherwise. And when it comes down to trusting practitioners to actually get over the fear of seeing another certain practitioner, a lot of the time you can go on the Dolores website, send an email to these practitioners, and you won't even get an answer back. I've heard that so many times. But so that's not a good platform to be. Not everyone, obviously, but it's not a good platform to sort of start even gaining trust. Yeah, normally if I'm unavailable, I'll say I'm unavailable. Not nothing. But yeah.
Yeah, or if you don't know the answer, you say you don't know the answer, right? It's
exactly.
It's just about being honest and upfront, you know.
Exactly. So yeah, having a fear. I mean, fortunately, I wrote 13 books, and the people that wished a session for me were going through the books. At the end, it said, "Book a session with me." And that's how people were coming through. So yeah, fortunately for me, I actually got to have meet some amazing people and have awesome sessions. Everyone has taught me so much. It's just unbelievable. So I haven't had any people. It was said in the beginning, oh, because you're a man, you won't get so many female clients, and strangely enough it's like 99% female, so I don't so yeah, but
people with their preconceived ideas.
It's easy
to.
It is.
That means if they're male, they won't get many female clients. That's what that means.
And if you're female, you get lots of male clients. Is that right? Is that right? I'm still trying to figure it out. I think we're equity.
I've had more female than male clients, but I don't know why that is.
I think females are more awake, or should I say, less prone to ego. Even though there's people that have more ego than enough. Yeah, I think it's because they're less prone to. They get, maybe after having children, you sort of get the values a bit quicker, a bit more straight, grow up a bit, balance out, and start to learn what's good and right for your child and things like that.
Spirituality, emotions, like seeking healing. I mean, it is quite a sort of feminine. Like feminine aspects, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
So,
Is it? Hold
Not
up,
all,
minute.
not all men are in touch with their feminine side. I'm not going to try and turn this into a sexist discussion or anything.
I
But
just
I think
realised what I was
some men
agreeing
are more
to.
open than others.
Yeah. Okay, which is suggesting again that females are generally more open. Even Skit 75 in the chat is saying that I think women are more open and willing to explore spirituality. Well, having a child maybe is more of a spiritual experience than a material one. Maybe I can't say. I don't know. Not in this life, anyway.
Having a child.
Yeah. I remember in a past lifetime where I had three little boys. Yeah. I think I was only about 3 foot tall, so I'm not sure it was. And that was full grown. I was a little tiny midget.
Having gnome babies.
Lady. That's racist. That is. That's not politically correct, is it? You can't just go around calling people.
No, having a child is a very spiritual experience.
This is what I wonder. I can't speak for the female in this lifetime.
I mean, when I fell pregnant with my second, I knew that I was pregnant, and I went into the GP and I said to the GP, I am pregnant, and the GP said to me, how do you know that? Have you done a test? And I said, no, I just know that I'm pregnant. And they went, well, you have to do a test first. And I said, well, okay, if you want me to blind you with science, then I will. And I did the little test, and of course it was positive. But yeah, I knew. I absolutely knew.
See, look, if you haven't got a result on a piece of litmus paper or whatever to say it's acid or alkaline, then you can't know. No, you can't.
I know. How dare I walk in there with my own feelings about my own body?
Oh, the arrogance, yeah.
The ignorance of me.
It's unbelievable, yeah.
But yeah, we are all made to be so out of touch with our bodies, and even like childbirth. I'm not going to talk about anything gory.
God
just
forbid.
For any men that are listening, but it's just a very sort of medicalized process. You might want to have a home birth, but you will be told by the hospital how they want you to have it, and they will try to sort of push it through a certain way, and they've got their own tick lists and stuff like that they need to adhere to, their guidelines and procedures, and in their minds they're acting in like the most safe way by getting the baby out, but it's not always the most natural way, and it's in my mind not necessarily the best, but yeah, I do think that we're detached.
Yeah.
From our bodies.
Certainly less ego. What was it? Paul 333 said. Hold it.
Hi, Paul.
Dolores Skits 75 said. Dolores said we have to experience both sexes, and sometimes we've had more female lives. And we tend to be open for all. Yeah, I do recall Dolores actually saying something like that, and this is why sometimes the male can become a bit more female, and vice versa. It explains a few scenarios anyway. And Paul 333, carry on. Sorry.
I think it's about the balancing of the soul, like the yin and the yang, where you've got the male and the female.
Yeah.
Where we have the feminine and the masculine aspects of ourselves. So when we've been male in lots of previous lives, I think that then we would probably have like female lives to try and sort of balance the soul out. I mean, I've not got any confirmation on that in any sessions, but you know, just in terms of the balance,
it would need to balance.
Has to be.
But
yeah.
those, if you've had say like 100 woman female lifetimes, and then all of a sudden you become a male, they do say that there's a big chance that that femininity or part of it can be passed over, because there's not a balance there, if you know what I mean. It doesn't seem like we go male, female, and back and forth. It seems as if sometimes you can have not excess, but because you'll have more than what you need, and then it opens up the realm for new experience, because the creator or the creative source wants nothing more to be more creative, and we're helping it do that with our new concepts and ideas. We believe in possible things, we really do. And because we're taught them and everybody knows them, they think it's normal and natural to think these things, and it's really, when you look into physics of reality, it's really not. So yeah, I've got a lot on that, but it is. I do understand that if you've had a few too many, there's no such thing obviously, but lots of female lives, your a bit of femininity can pass over into a male life. It does seem, but Paul was saying women are more open, more intuitive, because they're more open and willing to look at their emotions. They are more willing to change. Yeah, Paul teaches a few healing modalities, and it's 99% female. That's interesting. Yeah, I had an all-male workshop once, and I thought at last males are waking up, but it didn't last long. So males get bored quickly, I guess. Don't. I don't know. Some do. I think you need a line, some sort of. I don't know. I've bought Dolores hook, line, and sinker. I think we need all of those to be in place before we're gonna take the bait.
Paul just put he does live in Belfast though.
I'm not sure if that.
So, yeah. Maybe a bit macho going on.
Possibly, yeah.
There are a few here, but not many. Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm fairly close to London, and definitely I've got mainly female clients. I also teach a few different healing modalities as well. But yeah, it is predominantly female at the moment, but I do have some male interest, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I don't, but yeah.
Not that kind of male interest, Chris.
No. I'm not. No, God forbid I'd be like that on live on a new earth. No. No. Oh, yeah. Also, a male workshop once. Yeah, well, it's a shame, isn't it? With Dolores's work, the QHHT. Do you use QHHT, Paul, at all? May I ask? Belfast, yeah, I'm not sure whether anything goes in Belfast. Anything goes in London, doesn't it? And Brighton
yeah, anything goes in London and Brighton, yeah.
Not sure anything goes in Belfast. Yeah, a bit more macho, I should imagine. Country folk and that.
Guinness, that's what goes in Belfast. That's a fact.
So Paul doesn't actually
Paul bought your course, Chris.
Oh, you don't need it then. No, you don't need it. You're level 1, level 2. If you've managed to get round to using it, and because sometimes once it's strange, because as soon as you get into it, and then all of a sudden you start doing sessions where impossible things are happening, like cataracts vanishing in your client, then it's really that's what kept me glued, as it was. Yeah, definitely, it kept me glued. You don't need QHHT. You don't need any other thing. Although they can add to the education, I guess. But you really don't need it. When I managed to strip all the issues that QHHT was having, by having my own sessions, coming back with the ideas and methods of new ways of doing things, then after I had put them all together, I had a new method. It wasn't completely new because it still used the past life regression sort of protocols, hypnosis protocols as well, guided meditation protocols.
But I think that's the beauty of it, where you've brought lots of different things into it, and how it works, how it's your own.
Yeah.
Oh, Paul hasn't started your course yet. Paul, I've done the course, and I have to say it's great. My second client, she's completely healed from epilepsy. She hasn't had a seizure since.
That's amazing. Look, Paul says it too. Yeah,
definitely give it a go.
It's a mind blowing. A lot of people can as well not be too sure. I mean, I did look at the scripts a little while back, and I thought, well, I could make this even simpler. But then I was advised that maybe you don't touch it because it's okay as it is. So. Yeah, because there's things in some of the scripts which are just pointers really, but I think they can be a little bit distracting. So I was contemplating on editing that to make it a bit simpler. But no, if you can actually get to use it online or whatever, it's going to be worth it every time. It's completely blew my mind. When I first started, I was amazed. I was blessed that I was pressured or hampered. She hampered me. She really got on my case and said, "No, we're doing this session whether you like it or not," sort of thing. Oh, but yeah.
But what I love is that you were a bit sort of suppressed with your bringing your new ideas into QHHT, and. You could have gone two ways with it. You could have just sort of gone into a bit of a hole and gone, oh no, I can't do it the way that they want me to do it. But you didn't. What you did was you came back and went, no, I've got to do something with this. And you were literally divinely guided by the light to come up with these new methods, and it's really helped people. So I think it's wonderful.
Yeah, I'm not going to blow my own trumpet and agree with everything you say, but say thank you.
I've blown it for you now, Chris.
But I will say thank you.
Pay me later.
Exactly. Yeah, PayPal. But yeah, it did all sort of fell into place. It wasn't until I think I realised I had been taken off of the Dolores website. I'm not sure if I...
Such a rebel.
But I didn't know. But the only reason I knew, because they didn't tell me anything. There was zero correspondence. I was shocked at how you could actually do that, because I was 24/7 supporting QHHT, and I was only sharing my knowledge in private QHHT groups. And I don't know, I don't like to say any names these days of who would have such power to actually remove mine, and who would want to. I was just sharing what I had been given, because a client come to me, there was more than one, this was hundreds, and they still continue to this day. They say, I can't get the subconscious in. When I call it, so it doesn't come in, it doesn't want to know me. and they all start feeling guilty. And it's like, so I shared I had Word documents. I had to write them out because I was wasting so much time on writing separate emails. You know what I mean? I had to literally write a pre-written email for all these people that would contact me, and I would give them all of the bits that they needed to add in order to overcome that problem, which was accessing source, you know, and all the protocols regarding that. And yeah, I went to go into a new group, and they obviously got my name. I said I'm such and such, I'm a QHHT practitioner, and they come back to me and they said, no, you're not. I'm like, how do you work that one out then? My name's on the website. And then she said, no, it's not. And so straight away I was actually being blocked from spreading the light. You know, that is how I was thinking it. I'm blocked from, oh my God. And then I started really sinking, because I thought, right, I put everything into this. So I'd put a lot of money, I got into debt, and, you know, put a lot of work into promoting QHHT itself. 24/7, I was up till, you know, my whole body clock shifted to America time. You know, and it's still there now, you know, I haven't quite recovered from it. But, yeah, it was after that I thought, right, okay then. So, and then I got an email, because I asked, why have you taken my name down? And all these accusations, about 5 false accusations, ridiculous accusations. One of them was, you sell your own books on your website. And I'm like, how rude, what? I am, you know what I mean? How dare you? How dare you? I've got my client's permission, and even if I wanted to sell my books online, I am fully able to do that. You know, how dare you even suggest that I can't actually do that? You know, so
I think that's terrible. They come like a corporate entity.
It's like it was awful.
Into that kind of space. You know, it's crazy. But the fact that you know, I know that you have got many members on your Facebook pages where they're very clearly all QHHT practitioners, and you know, they're all members of the client stories and the advice that you're sharing. So you know, what you're sharing it's really important, and it has helped a lot of people. And I know you've had a lot of thanks for what you've done. So it is great.
It is
really great.
I couldn't, you know, like has been said on there, sharing is attempting to help people. Well, this is the reason I was kicked, or I was removed from that. Well, from Dolores Cannon's web page, and I was gutted. You know, don't get me wrong. It hit me really, you know, because I was thinking, oh my God, how am I gonna? And the second accusation they said was, you're not even certified. Well, in 2013, I got the certificate downstairs. It said, signed by both Dolores and Julia, right there. If I'm not certified, then I'm looking at an illusion. But when I touch it, it's still there, you know. So I think, you know, and I thought, right, stuff this certification rubbish anyway. You know, it looks good on paper and on your wall, and that's only your opinion. But because everybody else, it's just a piece of paper on the wall. But yeah, so I wasn't certified. I was selling my own books, which I wasn't. Everyone was free, by the way, every single one. So they really hadn't done their homework. I was sharing scripts with the public, which I wasn't. I was sharing scripts with the private QHHT practitioners, and I was only, you know, and the fact I was helping them, you know, how can you? But what it was, and I understood later that I had
Yeah, but did you actually sign up to any terms and conditions like that when you signed up for the course?
No, non-disclosure agreement. You have to sign a non-disclosure agreement now to stop people like me.
Oh, did they put that in place after they got you out?
I can't say it's down to me. Other people have done the same thing. And as you know, there's other people out there that are almost a replica of what I do, of what we do, sorry. So, you know, I thought I was going to be there. I thought I was going to be added to it, you know. I was that enthusiastic. I thought I was going to become part of the whole team. Instead, they kicked me out the door, you know. I'm fixing things. That's all I did. I just fixed things. I went in, we asked the subconscious or the higher self or the source intelligence, and we come back and we fix things. And then we give it to the practitioners that are in need of this fix, and then we get booted out for fixing things. They didn't want the scripts changed. And yet, when you go to the forum, there's all, but you ask one question, you'll be hit by myriad scripts. Myriad. You come out there more confused than you did when you went in.
Yeah, but the aim should always be about the healing. It should never have been
God, yeah.
something to do with exclusivity.
No, exactly, exactly. Yeah, I just want to be part of the team. I was a fanatic, that's it. And that's where that one got me. But, you know, we carried on. I checked what I had, put it all together. Bingo, I never knew. I never worked for it. It seemed to have worked towards itself. But, yeah, I had a whole new method, a whole new way of bringing well-being to help people, you know, with their enlightenment, physical and mental well-being. That was our service. When you're of service to the light, you can't get removed from such a place as Dolores' website. They did send me a letter back saying if you want to be removed from Dolores' website or if you want to remain on it, click this button. And I don't even really want any part. Dolores has passed over now. She's got better things to do. And quite basically, I don't want any part of it anymore. You know, I don't work with people like that. You know, it's a dark place that you can get taken. Nobody said anything. No question. Nobody didn't even question me. What are you doing this? Nobody, nothing. And they did say or claim that they had tried to contact me, but there's not. I was on Facebook a lot. Nothing would have got by me then. But yeah. It is sharing and attempting to help people, being closed off from learning new things. It is backwards, skits, yeah.
Sharing is caring, ultimately.
I agree, yeah. I agree. And then they turned me to capitalism. I was just giving it away, I was giving it all away, and now...
now it's all about the profit, yeah, alright.
I blame them for everything. But it was a blessing, you know, when you never let a crisis go to waste, you know, it was a complete blessing because certain people were getting involved and they've taken it, you know, they've actually learned and advanced themselves, advanced their own knowledge. They've gone beyond what I even was teaching in the first place, you know. And it's just awesome. They're just successful. It's just brilliant to see. And hopefully we can get some of those people on the show actually, just to show their progression, because they're probably doing something completely new now. You know, completely. Well, you know how it goes.
And maybe we should invite them on and ask if they would share their experience about how it helped.
Yeah, yeah, I totally. It was like they couldn't really afford the quantum healing course, so mine was like, I'm not saying second best, because I see it as a blessing given by the source intelligence, the subconscious, whatever, and it progressed, it evolved. That's the only thing that evolves in life. It's not people, they adapt. Not creatures, they adapt. It's the word and how we use it evolve. So yeah. Oh, Paul's got a massive question.
Oh yeah, I was just reading it actually, and
Okay.
he's talking about how he's experienced something very similar. He trained with a very well-known, world-renowned healer, and travelled all the way to Barcelona, spending a lot of money on the course, to be told on the very last day of the weekend that they had to give up every other modality that they offer and that they teach in order to be a practitioner in that modality. And he was really gobsmacked, and there was no terms or mention of any of this on their website, and it showed to him that he had to go his own way, and that the teaching was what he was there to receive, nothing else, as it had propelled him to create something himself too. But yeah, very, very, very similar experience to yours, in that, you know, sometimes we do get the door shut in our face to make us turn towards another path that is the right path for us.
Is fascism.
Yeah, but surviving it. Come on, getting through it. That's the good stuff. Fascism.
Oh my God! Isn't it though? Is that not fascism? Is that my way is the only way?
Nonsense. Like anyone that claims to be some sort of healing teacher that doesn't allow like the healer to actually, you know, use their own free will or their own sense of like what's going on is just it's just so narrow-minded.
Oh my God! I count on
Skits just said no one is a cookie cutter, and you should be able to use what tools you have to assist people.
That's agree. Right. I totally agree. Oh, what a Nazi! That is, my way is the only way, and that's it. No, I actually am blessed that most people that actually learn what I'm, the information that I'm giving away, they have a vastly wider spiritual dialect, you know, because they know more than one method. I actually really love that, because I can speak all languages in that realm. I expect you understand. Yeah, we are our own teachers, exactly, and that source within is still us, I believe. Yeah,
yeah. We try to learn about what we're interested in. You know, when I look back on my education at school, everything that I do now and everything I know now doesn't really relate to anything that I did in school at all.
No,
you know,
but
all of my knowledge is self-taught.
Yeah,
same as yours.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Although what happened in school affected our future self, and it was all meant to be anyway. But the path, it seems
the lesson.
Yeah,
the lesson of the militarization. Sorry, we're not going down that road.
Beep. Have we got a beep? Can I beep you out sometimes? Do we need a beep button? Do we? Imagine.
Do you need a beep button?
I don't know. We might accidentally.
Already?
No.
Don't sack me! Don't sack me!
That's hilarious, considering what we've just been talking about the fascism in the groups. Yeah, and these. I don't know. But yeah, Paul, anyway, no, it's great that you did share it, because it does show that, you know, some people say that my way is the only way, you know, don't do anything outside of it, you know, don't tweak it, don't add a word or a letter, you don't go left or right, you know, this is, if you don't do it this way, you are doomed. It's insane. Yeah, it's insane. And after spending a lot of money, I mean, at least the cash flow stopped, hopefully, and not too, not too far. Had drained you not too much, Hope you was able to recover from that, as I was from being put in debt. The QHHT is not cheap. It's not affordable. Oh, good, Barcelona. He says Barcelona.
That's right. At least you got a holiday out of it, eh?
Never let a crisis go to waste. Yeah, that's the ticket. That's awesome.
Right. So are we wrapping up this session tonight, Chris?
Okay.
Now that we're sort of at time, or
yes, possibly. I mean, yeah, you did. We did say about the time, didn't we? We wanted it to be a bit earlier. Is there anything sort of? Are there any skits? Do you practice QHHT? Did I ask that before? Let me just.
I don't think you did. No, does not.
No. Okay. No. I was just wondering if that's okay. Yeah, that's okay then. Are you looking to find a QHHT practitioner for you?
Oh yeah, QHHT is very expensive. I wouldn't do that one.
No,
I'd do Chris's course. Do the regression healing.
Yeah, you become level 1, equivalent to level 1 QHHT, level 2 QHHT, and you become a master when you master it. So,
I think QHHT's over £500. Yours is about 70, I think.
yeah, currently I've brought it round, but I needed to be, available to a wider range of people. I actually got in debt because of that course. Thankfully, I was able to bring it back, bring a balance back, but yeah, it's a lot. And I can see when a practitioner does level 1 and level 2 that they want to get their money back, so they're going to charge really high prices as well, whereas I charge a third of most practitioners I know. There is one practitioner that charges like $800, which is obscene to me.
Yeah,
but
the price, I think the price is just astronomical. I mean, it shouldn't be that out of reach for people. It really shouldn't. Not your price, Chris. I'm sorry. I'm reading this message. Sorry, you can't see inside my head.
Oh, okay. I was agreeing.
Put, I'm in LA, and there aren't many practitioners I can afford. So that was directed towards that, not towards you.
Yeah.
Sorry. Just clear that up.
Yeah. Well, it's understandable. Most of them charge around $300, and I don't. They've initially started out doing them for free, and if you've got premises, fair enough. But who can afford it? I mean, in the UK, I'm not giving away 300 quid or 300 pounds, English pounds, to any practitioner that charges that much. I'm not. It's just not. But I can see how they would become desperate to get their money back after they just spent 2,000 quid or £2,000 or whatever on the course itself. And then you get a status on the oh my god, I don't know. Level 1, level 2, master, grandmaster. I don't know. I think you can buy your own level now. I'm not sure. I don't know. As long as you got the money to pay for it.
Did you say Rasta Grandmaster? Did you?
No, I said Master Grandmaster.
Oh, sorry.
But the same would apply, yeah. If it's the right type of Rasta, he has to be working in harmony with the Garden of Eden, and then it's fine. It works, yeah.
So Paul's saying, did he read on the group that the sessions are around 4 hours? Yes, the first session is around 4 hours for the regression healing, but probably between about 3 and 4.
Is it?
You know, it depends. It depends on how sort of verbal and descriptive the client is, and where you go. I mean, there's so many different variables.
How curious you are, the practitioner.
How curious the practitioner is. How curious you are with your questions as well.
Yeah, I could put that another way and say how nosy I am. If I was to be the practitioner, it depends how nosy I am, how curious I am. You can't stop midway. You could stop midway. You could start next week. You can start and stop. Yeah, because you would. Is
that to do with toilet breaks, I wonder?
Yeah, even that doesn't affect us, does it?
No, that doesn't matter. That's one thing that I was worried about, was whether I could hold it for 4 hours. But I did manage to do it in my first session, and then I actually asked Chris what to do, and he gave me a tip. So it's been fine since.
Well, we always go before we sit down anyway. We've only got like 2 hours in session. Yeah, shall we go on to 1:30? Is that because there's some good questions?
Yeah, keep them coming in. We'll go on to 1:30.
I mean, Skids, I'm not currently doing sessions at the moment personally. Not that I'm blowing my own trumpet again. But, so you need a session with me. But I'm not saying that. But if Gemma would like to help you out on that, you said a bit out of your price range. I'm curious.
I'm about 120 for the 4 hours, but I don't necessarily like to close anyone out, so we can always come to some sort of arrangement.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Happy to do that with people.
Yeah, because the price ranges, and that's again. I mean, I've actually brought my prices down to an affordable. I'm a peasant. I'm just country folk, and I cannot afford this £300 session. I'm just not even going to even entertain it. Thank the Lord that I was able to be a willing QHHT guinea pig for 2 level 1 and then level 2 practitioners, and it was just those sessions, even though they were obviously, you start out level 1, you feel like a novice. Even as level 1, as a novice, the information that I received caused me to write 3 or 4 books just in those 2 sessions. Utterly mind-blowing. It didn't matter that the healing didn't happen, this miracle didn't happen, but the information that I got was so amazing. And this was what eventually, because clients were reading what I was writing, or potential clients, they were coming to me. They were saying, I love it. You're a flipping alien, mate. And I'm an alien too, so I reckon you'd be the best one to do the session with me. You know what I mean? It was like, whoa. And I was getting a lot of clients because of what I'd written. I'd put in these amazing accounts. I mean, you can't make it up. And that's another reason why I was able to share it. Because I had convinced myself, or I'd been convinced to the point that you can't make this up. I couldn't, it's just not even, I was either the best storyteller in the world or a compulsive liar. And
a really good one at that. To just have such a crazy imagination.
Exactly.
Come up with all of those stories.
Exactly. So, it for me, it was, it was mind blowing. And then all my clients, oh, you're a bunch of liars and all, That's it. So
yeah, for 4 hours, yeah. 4 hours of lies.
Got to listen to
4
this.
hours of recorded lies.
Oh
wow.
My God, listening to this. Oh my. No, but it was amazing. That was the amazing, because of my own experiences. I had a really good idea of what they could, close to what they were experiencing. And it was absolutely, I had confirmation after confirmation. And when you have someone go into a start of that life, then they end up middle-aged in that life, and then they end up elderly in that same life, and then they pass over from that lifetime, and then you get to see the cast of characters again. You can't make it up. The mind doesn't work like that in its conscious state. It needs to be, mind and ego have to be really switched off and shut down, and we do that by using the consultation, which is the most important part of any session. Definitely.
For the preparation of the mind.
That's what it is. All a process. Every single word is formulated in its correct order in order to acquire a particular state of consciousness. And that's all it is. It sounds like that's all it is, and there's thousands and thousands of words there, and they've all been like a jigsaw puzzle. They've all been put back together in their correct order.
Plus with regression healing, I mean, the clients as well, they always get signs after the session. They'll have a little Google or something like that. They'll look up something that's come up in the session, and I've had comments back about things that have, TV programs that have popped up that have been directly related to the culture of the civilization that their life was in. It's always very, very profound. There was a client I had where when she looked down at her feet, she only had one shoe on. And then when she left my house and was walking down the road, there was one shoe lying in the gutter in the road next to her car. And she came and knocked back on my door, and she said, "Gemma, you've got to come and have a look at this."
My God. You can't make it up, can you? With those confirmations, those confirmations after. Oh my God! You did remind. I was as you were speaking, I was getting flashbacks because I've had 7 sessions, in trance myself, and you are absolutely spot on. I completely not remembered about those. They do happen. But it is the reason I say that the source intelligence speaks to us in metaphors all around us. The image that surrounds us is the language of source intelligence. Do you know what I mean? And it does, when you connect, did the person notice that it was a sign though? Is that why they come in and got you again to go and see that shoe?
Yeah, they said, "Oh my God, look!" And I was like, they pointed at the shoe, and I mean, obviously, I'm there with them in the session, and it is very meaningful to me, but it's much more meaningful to them. And I was a bit like, after 4 hours, I was like, "Oh," and she was like, "Yeah, because I only had one shoe on, didn't I, in that lifetime when I was that child?" And I was like, "Oh yeah."
You can't make it out.
Totally amazing. Totally amazing.
I feel like that person, definitely. When I've seen signs that I thought had physically changed at the wording on the. I'd never seen this writing on the words on a sign before, and all of a sudden it was brought to my attention. It's this writing, just like the LED signs on motorways.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had literally changed with words that I use. Only I was the only one I knew used those words in that order. And it had these signs, and I'm like, "No, you can see that, can't you? Is that normal? I've never seen that before." To me mate in the car. But in that session, I must say, the fella that we went, it was a remote session, so I was actually putting my friend into trance in order to assist this fella, and he had really brought himself down. He had really brought himself low. So, you know, he had a lot of power on his own. And whether he was going to be going with the flow, thinking we're crazy or whatever. But my friend went into a past life. It was it was the most insane. It was a mad. I don't understand this past life. Anyway, it gets into it, and then at the end of that session, the lady, she was teaching in the other room, a small child, and she had finished the teaching and come into the room, and she said she saw my friend laying on the couch being hypnotized, and she said, "I'm curious." Well, you know, we're just finished, but she said, "I'm curious." She said, You've come to assist my husband, and you're giving therapy sort of thing to your friend on the couch. How does that work? And during that session, I was getting a bit frustrated because the matey was a paraplegic. All he could do was lift his thumb. That was his only method of communication. So I was getting no feedback, and because he didn't walk up like Jesus and just walk off out of the wheelchair, I was thinking, is this even working? This is, you know, I kept on getting this idea that it's kind of bouncing off of him. So I thought to myself, well, okay then, because I was talking to the subconscious at the time. I said, is his wife okay? Is there any way you could assist her with any healing at all? And then it did say that, you know, she could do with a bit of a spring clean, if you know what I mean. She could do it. It was appropriate anyway, after asking the source. And I said, okay then, so scan her body and fix any ailments that may be giving her discomfort. So she had come into the room, she had asked the question, if you're hypnotising your friend, how are you helping my husband? And I said, I asked her, I said, can you scan your own body? I said, are you free of any discomfort that you had earlier on, like, you know? And she scanned her body and wriggled about a little bit, trying to. And she said, "Oh, that's strange." She said, my arm was really, there was something not right with her left arm, and she was actually going to, she said she had it for the last week, and she was actually going to go and get it addressed by the doctor on the very next day. And she was scanning about, and she said it's completely gone. I said, that's how we do it. And she sort of burst into tears. She said, how can I get healing and not him? And I couldn't answer that question, if you know what I mean. So it's phenomenal. Sometimes it's not obvious that how we're helping a person. I can guarantee you that in some way it did help that person. But I wasn't satisfied. I was sort of like, you know, let's push the boundary out. We know we can do remote healing. Is it appropriate? Ask the source, and the source knows what's best. And yeah, you know, I wasn't gonna, even though they weren't paying for the session, I don't like to let the client go until I am satisfied that we have addressed everything, every word that the client has come to me for, you know, every letter and every ailment that we need to address. I'm not going anywhere until that's done. But that was amazing. And on the way home from that session, I looked up, and I always say it to people, I've never seen it written, but I think it's common now, and it said, safe journey on this sign. And this was over 5 years ago. I'd never seen it before, and it's the first time it had ever caught my eye. Like I say, I think it's quite common now. I've seen it more than once. But yeah, it was like, no way. That's like, you know, to me, the feeling, I just had this massive feeling that was a sign. It's overwhelming, you know. Even to the point that I knew that on the way home, we had sort of wired in somehow into the matrix. we were going home in rush hour traffic, and I said, we're going home as smooth as you like, mate. There is nothing there, nothing. You know. And lo and behold, on the way home, it was like we'd tuned right. You know, I mean, I can't explain it. Literally, if you want to imagine wires coming out of your head and then attaching to every aspect of reality, of every aspect of knowing, that was what it was like. Not like a Borg, not as bad as, because they're quite ugly sometimes. But anyway, yeah, let's not get off a track. I was going to suggest that we go to past, and we've actually reached past now. So yeah, Skids, if you wanted to actually learn after, if you're going to have a session with Gemma, and you actually think, yeah, I can do this, then you're more than welcome to come back to me, and you know, we'll give you a good deal on that, you know, because we can, and you can have a massively reduced, you know, price. That's what we're here for. There's a lot of, like myself, I couldn't afford to even get into this work, so you know, that's our job, is to make life easier, isn't it, really? And yeah, so just a massive reduction. I'm not sure I'm not sure if we can put a price on it, but you can get back to me on an email, and whenever you're ready, and just prompt me, and I'll give you a deal, a massive reduction, so you can get off to working as quick as possible. In fact, it's all written out, isn't it, Gemma? You could, if you knew basic formats of past life regression, PLR, then you have every single word literally written for you to recite. You could literally, as soon as you get your script, you can open up page 1 and start reciting it, and your friend, family, client, whoever, whatever, sat on the couch, and you could literally start right away and just go through the book. Obviously, I've put hints and tips throughout, so that might be a bit confusing, so it's always recommended that you read it first before you jump into such crazy endeavours.
Oh, look, we've got a lovely comment. That would be wonderful. You guys are wonderful. Yeah. This was a brilliant show. You've been a wonderful guest on the show, and if you do want a session, I'm very happy to do one with you. And yeah, I do recommend Chris's course. It's very easy to do. I literally read it through once, and then I went straight into it with my husband as the guinea pig, and it worked first time, and it was great. Thank you everyone for coming on.
I was going to kill a rabbit, but I let it live, so that's I was a hunter boy. Maybe I'm going to share. I'm going to actually share, because sometimes I can share you can share a link, can't you? And if I shared a link to a book, which actually this is the book I'm talking about, I think I might have an extra brain cell next week, and or whenever we conduct another live stream, you know, might have evolved beyond not touching.
I think we should try and do one in the next couple of weeks, Chris.
Couple of weeks, sure. Yeah, okay. And we'll have plenty of time for advertising this time.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, at least letting people know it was a bit of a
thanks, Paul.
Last minute thing. Yeah, thanks, Paul. It's awesome, utterly awesome of you. Awesome questions. It's just amazing to see amazing people on. Yeah, and definitely if you get the chance to use regression healing, it's definitely worth it, you know, worthy for sure.
See, we've got all of the right people coming into a new earth. What a wonderful place a new earth is going to be.
Awesome. Awesome.
Okay.
Right.
So, gonna call it a day.
Yeah, we could do. Do we have the outro music set up yet? No.
I'm not gonna sing.
No, definitely not. No, we'll sort that. But at least we got something, and we've had some, good couple of guests with some amazing questions and thoughts. So that is absolutely brilliant. Yeah, thanks, Skits. Thanks to you. Awesome. Same back at you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.